Okay, so a question I've had in is, can NLP be used to mind control children? I've had a couple of other questions of a similar nature about mind control and NLP, particularly people who watch Darren Brown. They think, oh, it's amazing, Darren does some amazing stuff. And Darren's extremely good performer, he's a very good entertainer. How much NLP he's using in terms of real NLP and processes is a totally different question. But this whole idea of mind control and NLP seems to be a popular one. In terms of children, can you use NLP to mind control children? People cannot be controlled necessarily in terms of, I'm going to say do X and you do X, now do Y. NLP is not like Simon Says. And this whole metaphor of people being computers and that we automatically program somebody like a machine is not the case. Let's take a moment to clarify something. A word is not the thing or the process it represents, and words are labels. So it's important when you're looking at NLP to understand that the term programming is actually a metaphor. Although programming is in the name of NLP, as practitioners of NLP, what we're doing is closer to conditioning and setting up associations for a person in their mind body, so that situations, behaviors, contexts that previously bothered them and no longer bother them, or if they want to act a particular way in a specific context, that they do that they can do that. In NLP, what we're really focused on is how do you wire up new behaviors and new emotional responses for people. So in terms of kids, can kids be mind controlled? I would say no, you can't control kids, and you can't control anybody in terms of the mind control. If you want to look at some research, the CIA apparently spent a lot of money before looking at during the Cold War period, was it possible to use hypnosis to set up somebody like the Manchurian Candidate, set somebody up where they could ring them up on the phone and give them a keyword and the person would become an assassin. That's just Hollywood fantasy. That's not how it works. So a better question is, how can I use NLP to influence my children in terms of their behavior? And that you can do tons on. Kids are extremely sponge-like in terms of how they learn their behavior. Therefore, what you can do with NLP is you can use processes to help influence how a child behaves and responds. And it starts with, first and foremost, how you communicate with the child. Your communication and the presuppositions you use in your language have a huge impact. But even more important than what you say is what you do. So if you want to be able to influence children, is your behavior and your values in terms of how you demonstrate what is important. If you put a young child through a particular experiences at a young age, you're going to leave a strong imprint on them. If you repeat that process many times, you can set up new learning experiences for the child so that they begin to take on similar valuing, for example, certain behaviors. So, for example, if you took your child out into a context where they saw charity work being done, or they saw disadvantaged people and supporting or assisting them, your child is going to learn about the value of people, of the value of, for example, money, or whatever it is that you're looking to teach them. So really what you want to do with NLP is look at how can you use the processes, to which there are many. For starts with language, how you speak and communicate with your child, how you present ideas. Also in terms of learning, for example, how your child tends to make decisions, how they motivate themselves. These kind of things that NLP and the strategy model with NLP is extremely good at will be very helpful for you as a parent to be able to help you guide your child to make better choices, better decisions. And ultimately, in terms of this whole idea of mind control, is let that idea float away. It's not about mind controlling somebody. It's not about me saying this magical word. If there were magical words, they'd be used all the time. If there is a magical word, in terms of with people, it might be free is a magical word, or sale or discount, because these have become hot buttons for people, and typically that will invoke certain things. But in reality, there is no specific magic phrase that you can say to a child to automatically get to control its behavior. Willingly and for the long term, as opposed to the threat of force or a bribe. However, there are intrinsic motivators that will work for your child. What they are will vary from child to child, even in the same family. A rewarding goal as a parent is to identify what those are for your kid. You do so by watching them and getting inside their model of the world. If you want to set up certain behaviors in your kids, you need to understand a bit about how children, in fact all of us, learn. And NLP is really good at that. For now, a good resource to check out is a book called Don't Shoot the Dog by Karen Pryor. She shares a ton of great behavior shaping principles and strategies that are very effective with us humans. Also, it's worth remembering that kids, as I mentioned, are sponge-like, especially in the early years. Without getting into the science too much, their brains are in rapid learning mode, and they learn by watching and doing. So if you want to help prime a certain behavior you want to evoke in your child, then it starts with you demonstrating, doing it over and over again while your child is watching. Not necessarily like, kid, pay attention, watch what I'm doing, although that can be useful also. Indirect examples where you have their attention are very, very effective. The more examples the child sees in different contexts, the better. And the brain will get it even faster when a strong emotion is linked to the demonstrated behavior. Remember, the right kind of emotional state is key. State plays a critical role in NLP, and kids will tend to polarize or gravitate to certain behaviors they have seen their parents demonstrate. This happens all the time. Typically, however, the parent doing the demonstration, example, shouting at a waiter, making time to talk to the postman every day, is completely unaware that those wonderful children's eyes are watching, absorbing, learning. I hope that's been useful. If you have a specific question in relation to how to be able to influence, say, somebody or your children, etc., then feel free to submit a question at www.nlptimes.com, and for more resources, do visit www.nlptimes.com. Thanks for watching.